We're joined today by Samantha Dunn. Samantha was the representative for the Eastern Metropolitan Region in the Legislative Council from 2014 until 2018. These days, she's here at Burrinja in Upwey. Samantha, welcome.
Thank you. Lovely to be here.
So tell us a little bit about your background first. You actually entered local politics through community activism. How did that come about?
Yes, I did. I was part of a campaign to save a childcare centre locally. That campaign was fiercely fought, went for 2 years in the lead up to a council election. We decided as a group of angry parents that 2 of us should run for council. And it was a great surprise to me to actually get elected as part of that campaign. And that saw me serving 9 years with the Shire of Yarra Ranges.
And you were also involved across councils with the VLGA. Tell me about that.
Yes, so I got elected initially as Treasurer of the VLGA and then President, and it was a great learning in terms of understanding more about the sector and the challenges facing local government in Victoria. It was a great opportunity to really see the sorts of things that councils had to deal with and be an advocate for the sector more broadly.
And so what kind of things did you learn when you got to the state level, to the state parliament, about the difference between your ability to affect change at the local and at the state level?
I think when I reflect on that, there's far greater ability to affect change at a local government level. The wheels turn a little bit more quickly at local government level than state. And even when I reflect on my own contribution, I see a lot of things locally that are still legacy items. It's a bit harder to do that at a state level because it's just at a completely different level.
And so you did advocate, when you were in state parliament, you advocated for this region for improved cycleways, better public transport, but you did that very much in the context of the broader need to accelerate energy transition, for example. Did you find that ability to affect change at the local level is something that can, drive that bigger picture change?
Absolutely. I think what happens at a local government level is really important for those other tiers of government in terms of it's almost like a litmus test of what's happening locally. So if it's happening locally, it clearly has traction at other levels of government.
And in terms of, addressing climate change, which is one of your key issues, are you more positive now than perhaps you were when you entered Parliament? Do you see things going in a better direction?
I think we're definitely going in a better direction. It's heartening to see some improvements there. It's never enough for me, Bill. I always want more and quickly because it's an enormous issue that we face, and Australia's really been on the back foot and we really need to do a whole lot of catch-up. But I'm definitely positive about climate change action.
And since leaving the Parliament, you worked in the disability sector with Kevin Hines Grow. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about Kevin Hines Grow. What do they do?
So they provide therapeutic horticulture services for people with a disability, which is essentially gardening work, growing plants, looking after plants and selling plants. And the whole basis of therapeutic horticulture is about recognising the well-being of being out in nature and what that provides to people.
And what does it provide to people? What did you see in the clients of Kevin Hines Grow?
I think there's an innate thing of when people are in nature, there's an inherent calmness with that. There are so many different elements to being in nature that people can follow, whether that's about looking at insects, what's going on, whether that's about planting a seed, seeing it grow, caring for the plant, selling the plant. So there's a skills and knowledge acquisition, but I think it's that general calmness about being outside and in nature that is transformational for all of us.
And so now you're here at Burrinja. Burrinja, obviously a gallery, but what other kind of things do you do here?
So we have a 400-seat theatre here, a multi-purpose space which has all sorts of performances happen in it. We have studio artists on site here, so we have 16 studio artists who utilise the space, 5 galleries as well, social enterprise cafe, so there's a lot going on in this space.
In Melbourne, culture tends to be fairly Melbourne-centric, where 30 or 40 minutes drive from the centre of town here. How important is it to have a centre like this where people can engage music, theatre, art?
Oh, extraordinarily important. The Dandenong Ranges has always been known for its artists and its cultural background. It's great to have something locally for people to utilise, whether that's an artist or a patron. You don't want to have to go to the city all the time. It's nice to visit the city, but it's great to have a local facility, and the locals absolutely embrace it.
And you say the locals embrace it. The locals are the ones who campaign to preserve this building, is that right?
Absolutely, has its roots in activism here. When the councils amalgamated, at one stage the administrators wanted to sell off this building, which was the municipal offices of the Shire of Sherbrooke, and to their credit, the community at the time said, no way, it isn't going to happen, you're not selling our asset. They had a vision for the site, which was about being a community cultural centre, and 23 years later, here we are. The site looks a lot different. It's a lot bigger than what it was, but it's this thriving cultural centre, and it's great to see that their vision was realised, and thank goodness there were activists out there.
And so what's next for this place and for Samantha Dunn?
Look, I very much love working here, returning to the Dandenong Ranges, locally in the arts sector. I can't see myself being anywhere else. I really love being part of the community in a different way than what I have been in the past. We will keep pushing the envelope here in terms of our programming, keep supporting local artists and local groups who utilise the site, and just get bigger and bigger.
Samantha, thanks so much for talking to us today.
It's been a pleasure.